time you start, I talk about the map, but it's like really cool because whenever you start in one location, you take over the entire map from that direction.
Yeah.
So like that piece of land technically belongs to another campaign, but you like annihilate it in a different way.
Yeah.
Technically, they're different maps, all of them, but like it's just so cool.
I think they're kind of like themed around that though. Like if you work your way with the evolve to the big piece of land of the survivor, then you're
it's like sewage or like a specific theme.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then you get it like a real.
Yeah, it's cool.
Ready? Cool. Are you ready to start it?
Yeah, we're ready.
I love surprises, Commander. I hope you do too, because this mission is full of them. First up, there's a tech bunker out there that we believe holds a great old weapon. We sent technicians to open the bunker, but they went offline. So you have to find them, just like Easter, only in a war zone. A nearby camp's holding off the farm bots. Not to pressure you, Commander, but if there's nothing in that bunker, we're screwed. I love surprises.
Oh, this is a really good turn song too.
Yes, this mission is like really particularly hard. Like you have to make these units you have here go so far because you like games like StarCraft and Warcraft and pretty much any RTS has like a mission style like this where you don't actually base build. It's all about the units you get along the way or that you start with.
Literally the first mission in StarCraft 2 campaign where you have like 5 Marines and like Jim Raynor or something.
Exactly.
It's like more than that. And
but
you have to make them last.
Yeah, and it's a little more complex too. And it's not like it's like in those games and the first campaign for StarCraft Wings of Liberty. It's a really specific path that you're forced down. In this, you start in the bottom left corner, and you can literally go anywhere right away. The whole map is open to you, and you have to go. You have to like I chose this way because I played this map a few times, and I was like, all right, this is probably the best way to go about doing it, and it's still pretty goddamn hard, right? Like these missions are not easy. I might make them look easy, but that's I'm a super suave, awesomeness.
And Kyle doesn't want his little flamethrower dudes to die for a reason I don't know yet.
I think I want them to take down buildings, but at the same time, it's more or less because there's a lot of friendly fire in this game, and if you accidentally position your like say my flamethrower guys were to actually have shot that guy, they probably would have annihilated half of my own army. So it's a good idea to keep them separated.
Yeah, it's like Terran. Terran actually is the the race with the most amount of units that do damage to itself.
Yeah.
Widow mines, seeker missile from Raven,
tanks.
Yeah,
nuclear missiles.
I
think that's it. I think there's 4. And with Protoss, it's literally Storm, and I think that's it. I think Storm is the only friendly fire, and Zerg has no friendly fire at all.
Which makes sense because we have so much shit that if we did,
it would like literally kill you. But imagine if Banelings
Oh, that's not fair to say because if a single Baneling blew up, all of them would blow up.
Yeah, exactly. Like in KKND, when your single kamikaze blows up and it blows up all your kamikazes.
That'd be so unfair.
And I'm even saying that maybe Banelings don't hurt other Banelings. Like Widow Mines don't hurt other Widow Mines. But if Banelings hurt your own
oh my god, that'd be so bad.
Yeah, they would be so hard to control.
I don't want to think about that. Kyle.
Yeah, maybe like a future nerf.
No, not. I don't think consider it.
That would heavily discourage use of the Baneling.
That would heavily discourage.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what they should do. I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, he's trying to aggro them and realize they're not.
Yeah, they're like on hold position or some shit, so I just went up and annihilated them. It's all good. It's all good.
Ching, ching, ching. I think you're off of it.
Yeah. I can't.
We got like so caught up.
I can't really hear it. I was sort of just singing it from memory. Forgives me if the audio ends up being on par with my voice. I'll try and mix the audio down a little bit from the game.
He's just waiting for his units to heal now.
Yeah, exactly. You see how they've got the red bars around it. That's what we were talking about before.
And he's bringing one out that he knows will be able to be healed later, and it dies with cow stacks. Oh, it doesn't die.
Yep. Oh, look at that! Look at that micro. That's Boss Micro.
God, I love the landscapes.
And I found my little technicians.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I think what happened to my flamethrower guys is I left them somewhere, and some robots came along and just like killed them. Like they just got annihilated. Oh no, they're there. Never mind.
Yep.
I keep them safe. I keep them safe.
I'm there. What the hell?
I'm there.
I'm listening. Yep.
Bow, bow, bow.
What the hell? Alrighty then. I'm there.
Bow now, 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 now. Bow, bow.
Oh, a bunker.
Yep.
Yep.
Like you said, I love surprises. If there ain't anything in that bunker, we're screwed.
Yep. I'm listening.
But like, look how little I have left, and like I did a really good job, I think, of like microing my units properly in this. I guess if I'd like slowed the speed down, I probably would have been
And
able
waited
to.
for them to heal all the time.
Yeah, I probably would have done a little
If
better.
you send all three in, all three go in, but
Yeah.
Kyle only needed to send one in.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Wait, you
'cause
had a bomber?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take you.
Okay, so that's not normally in a bunker.
Yeah, this is just a campaign kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I'll take
And now it goes to
Yes.
Yeah.
reload.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Trying to get it to attack buildings.
Alrighty then. Moving.
And putting it at a safe spot to land. I'm pretty sure this is going to take a while, so we should talk about something. Well, this goes on.
It's the windmill, Kyle. You were
Yeah,
right.
exactly. I was totally right. The windmill. It took me a while to remember it, but I did. I actually had to like strain my brain and be like, oh god, I should know this. I've played the fuck out of this game. I would say I'd probably logged as many
so
hours.
that's why you have that.
I probably logged as many hours in KKND as I have in StarCraft, just because it was one of those games that I played when I was a kid that literally every day after I came home from school, I was like thinking about KKND.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, like how to beat it.
Yeah, yeah, and I would be stuck on a specific mission, right? And I would draw the map, and in class, in school, and I would draw like little tactical arrows. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna make a group of Grenadier men and Flamer guys and bring them around this side and like try and kill the oil refinery or some shit, right?
Like the game you made.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, have we told that story?
We have
I
not told that story.
Okay, so story time.
This is about the fact that there's great teachers, but there's also bad ones.
Yeah.
No names mentioned.
Yeah, no names mentioned. Okay, so high school, grade 11 math. It was UC math, university college level. And my teacher says, okay, you get to design and make a game, and it has to be unique. And the key word there was unique and use math, right? Unique that uses math. So here I am, like, my brain is firing off, like, I'm like, oh, I've got like so many ideas of like turn-based strategy games that like use like dice rolls, and all the calculations I had were based on parabolas. And so basically, when you rolled your 20-sided dice, you wanted to roll a 10 or 11 because that's when you would do the pinnacle amount of damage. And I had like armor modifiers and like.
Well, let's give them a
huge
visual. So I played this game.
Yeah.
Like, he showed this to me. Imagine like the standard poster board that you'd get. It'd be that big with about a 1 inch by 1 inch grid that Kyle took meticulously with rulers to make a giant grid on this huge board.
Yeah.
He cut out a whole bunch of units, tanks, infantry, and whatever, and then created
buildings too.
Very like outlined parts of the grid which you couldn't traverse because they were like mountains.
Yeah, mounted like obstacles.
And then each one of these had like each one of them had a specific damage output, right?
Yeah, specific damage output, an armor modifier.
Yeah.
And it was like a range modifier.
Yeah, and it wasn't pretty, but it was smart.
Yeah.
It was really good. And each side would start out with a specific number of units.
Exactly. And there was also like you gained resources based on, it was like a per turn calculation
you'd start out
kind
on
of thing.
opposite sides of the board.
Yeah.
And it was all about army positioning and like all that shit.
Yeah, and it took.
And he's fucking like how old?
I
Dude,
was 16, I think.
It was very smart.
Yeah, I spent like literally tens of hours on this, like making this thing, and I'd say like in total I probably put about like 25 to like 30 hours total into a school project, right?
Kyle hated school.
I hated
Kyle
school.
didn't spend shit on shit.
Exactly. I skipped so many classes, except for when every once in a while I would get a project that I would be inspired, and this was one of them, right? Make a game that was unique with also
Based
using
on
math, right? That just had math calculations. So what happens when I get to my class? All my fellow students have these like Monopoly style board games where you roll the dice and you move your pieces and you land on a card and you have to answer a math question. And every single one of them was like that. And they were so dumb and boring and generic. And mine was unique. It was so good. It was incredible. It's the best project I've ever put out in high school by far. Like far and away the best project I'd ever done. And she gave me a fucking 70. I was so pissed. That killed my motivation to ever try hard in anything math related ever again. Fuck math. Fuck math class. God damn it. That game was amazing. That was a 99% game. That was
all the other ones got like A's.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
pluses.
And they were so dumb. They were so dumb because
They're like, I drew like a single wavy line that had like lines across that had, answer, what's 6 times 24?
well, it was more like solve
parabola shit.
find the
Whatever, Kyle, what was
the
the
perpendicular bisector
Don't
of blah blah
shut
blah
up.
blah blah.
I'm stupefying them.
Okay, whatever. I was so mad and like disillusioned. It's like
And the
because
teacher was we're not gonna mention names, but the teacher was so bad about it.
yeah she like came up to me afterwards and she's like, this wasn't what I was expecting. And I was like, well, you said unique game, like it never even occurred to me to make a game where
It was
all
so
you did was
stupid.
draw a card and answer a question to like advance the spaces. Like that didn't even occur to me. That's what everybody else did. Everybody else did.
And she didn't recognize that it was more about how much time and effort he put into it, more than like, oh, I want something unique, give me generic.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like that teacher either.
Yeah.
And I was a great student.
Yeah.
I was way better than Kyle.
Yeah, oh no, Corinne got through, I think your average at the end was like 94 or 96 or something.
Which, like, Canada has different grades than the US, and 93 is, like, an A+. Like, that's, like, we don't, like, bell curve our grades at all. Like, I got, like, such, like, top, like, fucking, like, 2%.
Yeah,
man. That was so good.
I passed high school. Like, I mean, I didn't fail anything except for gym when I broke my collarbone and I just stopped going.
Yeah.
But I went to my classes literally about 40% of the time. I skipped so much, and I passed. Like, my average was like 55, like D or C or whatever, just above
55
pass.
is a D minus.
Yeah,
in
just
Canada.
above pass was. And like I didn't try at all. And I know this story is like very specific. This is a very specific occurrence that happened at like the very latest. But stuff like this had been happening to me all through middle school and high school, where
Every time.
I would try to do something inspired and different, and I would get shot down because of it. And that's why I didn't try in school, like middle school and high school. I just didn't give a fuck because clearly my effort was not going to be rewarded. So I went to other things like computer gaming and like drumming, music, stuff
There's
like that.
only one class Kyle ever tried it.
Yeah, and that was
because he was
Comtech.
rewarded for it.
Exactly. My Comtech teacher, I gotta give props to Mr. Emtage, was the best teacher in high school by far. And what he let me do was I took grade 12 Comtech twice because I didn't even get a credit for it the second time, right? I just took it because I loved it. I would get to go to class and choose my own project. I was an audio guy, right? So basically all I did for an entire year of Comtech was audio projects. And it would be like, oh, this is like supposed to be the silk screen section. But he would let me go into the sound booth and just mess around with like something I was recording or an audio file of some kind, or like some kind of like audio composition between like two people conversation or a video project or something like that. And he would just put that in as my silkscreen mark. And I got a 99 and like the Burrow Signs like Comtech award. And like it was the only time I actually got recognized for being like smart and talented in high school. And it was like I think it was like one of the most important teachers for me to have.
Yeah.
I act like and I can't say it was all bad because like clearly Mr. Emptage was like one of the like if I didn't have Mr. Emptage as a teacher, I would be completely different than I am now, right? Like that's where I learned the concept of, hey, if I want to get better at something, then I can clearly teach myself. I have to learn how to learn, right? So that I can systematically conquer problems and improve in what I want to improve in, not what this, the cookie cutter school system, standardized tests and all that bullshit. So, yeah, Mr. Emptage, Mr. Boss.
Yeah, schools.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was my story.
Yeah.
You've had a blank screen for a while. I'll
Kyle
probably
will probably put stuff in there.
I'll put a Survivor logo so you can
No,
at least look at
it'll
the
be
Survivor
like
logo.
kitties and stuff, and every
Okay,
time you
okay.
say something important, you'll flash an image. You'll put some.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put a little more
And
time
the
in.
kitties.
And the
Also.
kitties.
Kitties.
Kitties. Kitties. All right. GG.